That came into law the other day. A company that they commissioned $556,000 to pay a company that an unnamed company in Virginia is now recording us. I hope you guys are having a good listen. I hope that you can you plan to use this, of course, in your quote unquote to use it in the event that we for court hearings and stuff. Well, all I can tell you is everything I'm saying is on record, and everything I'm telling you right now is the truth, and you guys know it. So what are you trying to do? Trying to find the one person that says I'm going to go do something that's absolutely ridiculous and then use that recording against him? If he does it, that's what you're trying to say? If come on, you're trying to sell us that bullshit? Come on, you guys know that's crap. You just want to know exactly what's going on, and you want to have it on tape. And you want to record it, and you want to be able to legally do it. Because you have no control over the internet, like Jay Rockefeller. He calls himself Jay because he doesn't want to be known as John D. Rockefeller, the third, or whatever his actual distinction is. I think it is the third. He thinks the internet is a nightmare. Sure, because you can't control your control. Here's the problem. Anybody that wants to shut down the internet, they're going to use all these excuses from the very evil that they perpetrate. Like these child sex things. They'll say, well, we can't do this. We got to cut off the internet because predators are on the internet. Well, you're doing that. We got to censor the internet because of criticism of government. Well, you're creating tyranny. So it's like everything that they're doing is really to cover themselves, not to protect the people, and it's to protect themselves. It's sacrificing your liberty for their security. That is the New World Order, and that's where we're in. I mean, it's just unbelievable, and it's happening every day, and most people are just asleep, and they're just, I mean, really going to need another huge event that they're probably going to be planning, because remember, this is constant war. I mean, Obama is he's the love-bombing, Peace Prize winning, orator who is now in more wars than any other president in history. He says he's bringing home troops, and then he deploys them elsewhere, and it's a con game. It's a shell game. Anyway, so of course the feds are trying to do that. Now in Britain, a total of 135 videos were already removed, and they do a lot of this there because, again, there's a little more tyranny there because you can't really have guns in Britain, so very small population have them. Yeah, they've been doing that for a long time. Unbelievable. Anyway, signs of NATO rebel atrocities in Libya grow. This is from CBS News. In Libya on Tuesday, the body of Muammar Gaddafi was buried in an unmarked grave at a secret location. Like many revolutions, the end of this one was bloody. There are questions about how the rebels dealt with both the dictator and hundreds of others. CBS News correspondent Alan Pizzi reports that the question of whether rebel fighters executed Gaddafi is still under investigation. So far, the new Libyan government has shown little interest in getting to the bottom of the matter. Of course not, because all they're interested in is getting all of Gaddafi's gold and setting up the central bank and, the Rothschilds taking over the area and getting their little minions in place to control the country. Nearly 300 bodies, many of them with their hands tied behind their backs and shot in the head, just like they did in Egypt. When you saw the Egyptians, it's the same thing. And then the blacks that are all, the Libyan blacks that are all being tortured because there is a tremendous amount of racism, putting them in concentration camps. This is loving behavior for the globalists. They love this. They're like salivating over the torture and the evil that's going on in the country of Libya that they've created and help to use this uprising against Gaddafi, this totally controlled, paid-for event, is just unbelievable. An uprising of a population. This was not a grassroots thing. It started from the controlled opposition to Gaddafi, and it ultimately ends up in the controlled opposition winning and beating Gaddafi. And then now, watch the hellish nightmares that are going to continue to unfold. Nearly 300 bodies, many of them with their hands tied behind their backs and shot in the head, have been collected from across Sirte and buried in a mass grave. The new government has been slow to confront allegations of atrocities by rebel fighters, despite repeated calls to do so. Of course not. Yep, they cover it up, and NATO, of course, is, has nothing to say about it. They love it. We're in the Twilight Zone, ladies and gentlemen, an absolute Twilight Zone world, where war is peace and, freedom is slavery. It's just ignorance is strength. It is just unbelievable. Orwell, I think he wouldn't even believe how corrupted and diseased society has become because of the globalists and their depopulation agenda and screwing us with big pharma and all the other frauds. One fraud, everything they do is fraud. It's absolutely unfathomable, but it's true. Anyway, China is to step up the social media censorship again. China has vowed to intensify controls on social media, that's Facebook and stuff like that, and instant messaging tools, and the highest level office response to the extraordinary surge in microblogging. Oh well, too many people are talking, we've got to cut that down. This is where they're going in America here. We are the China model. Remember, the Rockefeller, the whole thing with the China Traveler in 1973, calling Mao Zedong the greatest leader in history, one of the greatest, man who slaughtered almost 100 million people. And now the China model is the UN model for growth. The UN says we're going to help these poor people in Africa and all the Sudan and all these other places in Darfur. Meanwhile, it's all lies. They're killing them. It's genocide. They wanted to wipe them off the earth. And they do it in the name of love, in the name of freedom and liberty and compassion and humanity. I can't believe it. It's just, I still can't believe people are just so stupid. The United Nations is a genocidal front. It's just unbelievable. It's like the Nazis won, and they're doing it by stealth. What Hitler could not accomplish by force, the globalists are accomplishing by stealth. Remember, they're all the same people. The Rockefellers and the Rothschilds funded both sides of the wars. Both world wars. I.G. Farben partnered with Standard Oil, Rockefeller. It's on record. It's all true. We have a criminal government, and they've been fleecing the people, and they will continue to fleece the people until the middle is gone, and then the servants will do anything just to get their little measly work order and love so that they can maybe have a couple of scraps of food or some pleasure in their meek lives. In their bleak lives. Yeah, that's their goal, serfdom. And I know it's hard to embrace, it's hard to fathom that they could do that, or that's what they're going to do, what they're trying to do. But they're doing it. It's not that they're trying to do it, they're doing it. It's happening. We're in the middle of it. I keep saying about the New World Order, it's present tense. This is the New World Order. And it's just the beginning. Again, back to this controlled opposition, like this Occupy Torrington bullshit. This is from Fox News. Acorn is playing behind-the-scenes role in the Occupy movement. The former New York office for Acorn, the disbanded community activist group, is playing a key role in the self-proclaimed leaderless Occupy Wall Street movement, organizing guerrilla protest events and hiring door-to-door canvassers to collect money under the banner of various causes while spending it on protest-related activities. Oh boy, what a shock. Acorn, you guys are horrible. Again, thank you, Mr. Soros and Mr. Rockefeller and all the other, actually Soros, you cover the left and Rocky's on the right. But it's still all the same people because remember, the 147 companies, you're all playing together, you're all played into the same pot. You're all mixing and commingling together and you're festering nasty, depraved lives. Okay, so Acorn, of course, is doing that. We know that they've been doing that for a long time. That's nothing new. I've been talking about this since it started. There's a study now that flu shots are only about 59% effective in adults, and it doesn't even help people that are older. I don't know, where's my friend Jason Perkel right now? Dr. Jason Perkel, Mr. vaccines are healthy for you and good and doing all this other stuff. Maybe because he gets junket money. I don't know, it's possible. He could. I'm going to talk about that just in a couple of seconds. About all the different bonuses and other perks that these drug companies get for dishing out the stuff. That's right, the pushers get a bonus. All right. Flu shots are only about 59% effective. This is reported from Dr. Brian McDonough. God bless you, Brian, for being somebody that's honest. Flu shots, this is actually from the Lancet Journal, which is surprising that it actually got into there in the journal Lancet, which is a Reed Elsevier publication. But true. The report is based on 31 studies going back to 1967, and the study also found that the newer nasal spray, which is used in children, works about 83% of the time. So where does it all leave us with the flu vaccine? This guy says take it anyway, whatever. If you're somebody who likes medicine to be perfect, you're not going to like this, because it's 59% effective in adults. Yeah, that's great. But they don't tell you about these vaccines. Some people you should get into is, I should have put an article or two from Dr. Tenpenny, who is just excellent and has a lot of knowledge on this subject, that the vaccines, that these it's a flu thing is a big fraud. Here's why. It's last year's virus. They don't know what it is. They don't. It's always old. It's always the previous year. That's why it's just like it really doesn't work. It's never new. In addition, you need to realize that what they're trying to do with these vaccines is guess what flu strains they will be attacking. They don't know in advance which ones are coming, so they just try to predict it. Come on, predict it so you can get so they can make 10 or 20, I don't know what it is, 20 or 30 bucks for a flu shot, whatever, times 300 million. Everybody get a flu shot. You just made $1 trillion. Okay, you understand? Doesn't matter how many people you kill. Inconsequential. The FDA and CDC will back you up because big pharma, their people are in the FDA and the CDC. We're going to go into that a little farther too. This was out of place here. This thing about Occupy Chicago is actually going after the mayor. How nice. Mayor Rahm Emanuel. I should have mentioned that before. A little out of place there, ladies and gentlemen, in my news. But it looks fun. Good. He's a total criminal. Absolutely. Rahm Emanuel. This is the man who says that citizenship is a privilege. It's it's a privilege. It's not a right. Americans, freedom is, you have to pay for something, give back to the community. Again, this communist manifesto that they put through, give back to the community. Well, if you really want to give back to the community, everybody, do what I'm doing. Get out there and tell people the truth. Wake them up. Wake them up to the truth. That's doing for the community. Not, doing some bullshit, clean the neighborhood type campaign, to keep all the attention away from the criminal activity like Rahm Emanuel stealing all that. Again, another. His father's in the Israeli army. He's a horrific, genocidal. It's just terrible. I mean, it's just I don't know how. I mean, how I got on Rahm Emanuel. I definitely don't want to talk about that. But again, his Israeli army, they're total Zionist anyway. Now, Zionist, that doesn't mean that listen, I'm not an anti-Semite. People out there that are not aware, there's a difference between these. That's why I hate religion. The whole idea of religion is just ridiculous. Faith is what you have, and it's what you should have, in my opinion. But Zionism is not Judaism. There's a definite distinction. The collectivist criminal cartel are the Zionists, the Rothschilds end of that. Yes, they are Jews, but they are. It is not all Jews. It is, in fact, there are many Hasidic Jews. You can see go on YouTube, calling out the Zionists and cursing them and everything else. So in fact, this one guy got arrested in New York doing it anyway. But I don't know. I got off the subject of the drug companies, because I'm going to stay here for a while now, since we're talking about this. You see, these doctors that are like, no, it's flu shots, get flu shots, get all your vaccines, get all your, take this, prescribe that drug, prescribe this drug, take this, take that. They get perks for that.